It's time to finish the year strong. I know a lot of you been losing all year and you're thinking, hey man, maybe I'll wait till next year, new year, new me. Nah man, it's time to start winning today. This way you can get a head start on your New Year's resolutions. You gonna wait 2 months to start going after your goals? No, you need to start right now. And I'm gonna give you the breakdown of how you can make the greatest comeback of your life, no matter what you're trying to accomplish. The first part of this, you need to set some goals. And we're gonna focus on one main goal. You need to focus on one, especially if you ain't accomplished a whole bunch of shit yet. One main goal. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to accomplish a bunch of shit simultaneously. Like if you see where the average millionaire has 27 streams of income, these didn't start it all at once. They got rich doing one thing, then they had some leverage, and then they did the next one and the next one. So you need to pick one main goal. And I think it should be a financial goal. Let me explain why. The reason you want to have it a financial goal is because there are 4 quadrants of life. There is health, money, friends and family, and romantic relationships. I don't like looping friends and family and romantic relationships together, because you're not fucking your friends and family. Unless, of course, you are watching this from like Alabama or something, you know. When you start fucking people, it changes the dynamic of the relationship. You know, people break up each other all the time. People divorce their wives, but your fucking mom is probably gonna be your mom forever. You know what I'm saying? Or until one of y'all die. So these are the 4 quadrants of life. And some people will tell you to have one goal for each one of these quadrants. I say, fuck that, because you need to have good health to stay alive, right? And you need money to stay alive in a first world country. I don't know what it's like in shit-canistan. Everywhere I'd want to go, you need money to survive, right? You can live without friends and family, but life sucks. You can live without a romantic relationship, but life's not as fulfilling. What we need to do, there is only one of these quadrants that will make every other quadrant better. You guessed it, the motherfucking money, right? Because if you got money, you can get the best healthcare. You can buy the best foods. You can go to the best gyms. You can hire the best trainers. You can get the best medicine, the best operations. Magic Johnson would be dead with everyone else who had HIV if he wasn't a multimillionaire, right? So when people say health is most important, it's like, you can buy health, friends and family. It improves this. You know, you can do things for your family. You can do things for your mother, your parents. You can do things for your kids. You can send your kids to the best schools. You can get them the best tutors, put them in the best situations to succeed. In romantic relationships, it improves this. Financial reasons are the #1 reason people get divorced. 50% of marriages end in divorce, and #1 reason is financial. It's not infidelity. It's not lying. It's not bitch ain't sucking enough dick. I know, I would have thought it would have been that, but it was financial reasons. It stands to reason. If you love your partner, you better make some money, because statistically, rich people get divorced less. Poor people get divorced the most. And it makes sense, man. Bitches ain't leaving ballers as fast as they leaving bus drivers. Ain't nothing to leave a bus driver. You can replace him with a janitor, and your quality of life will stay relatively the same. So your one goal should be a financial goal. That's gonna be your main goal. But there's something you should know. You have one main goal, but there's some other shit that happens. You need what I call support goals, right? And these are goals that support the main goal. And there's 2 types of support goals. There are offensive and defensive, right? So if your main goal is a financial goal, an offensive support goal would be something like start business or learn skill, whatever skill you need to run your business. These are just examples, because these are things that will move you towards accomplishing the main goal. A defensive support goal is things you want to accomplish in order to clear the path. Because there's some things that can stop you from accomplishing your goals. These things will prevent those things from occurring, right? So a defensive support goal may be lose 50 pounds. Like if you fucking super fat, you want to lose some weight so you can stay alive, right? You might fucking die if you're too fat. Or it could be maybe you gotta stop fucking hookers, right? Because you'll end up in jail, right? So that's a defensive goal. You do the things that will prevent you from accomplishing your big goal, right? So these are support goals. These things will help you accomplish the main goals. It's offensive and defense. Then there are, we're going to call these result goals, right? And there's 2 types of result goals. Altruistic result goals. So these are like things you want to do for other people, right? This could be like, for example, buy mom a house. Maybe you want to save the whales, man. or some other creature you give a fuck about, right? You don't need some money for that, right? These are just altruistic goals. But you also want to have some selfish goals, right? And this could be, for example, like a badder bitch. You might think, oh man, I don't want a girl just want people for money. Man, listen, the 9s and 10s ain't out here fucking broke niggas, man. At least not habitually, right? It might happen on accident, you know, she get drunk enough or she off the molly and you catch her at the right time, the right place, right? But badder bitches don't have to worry about your goofy ass, you know? Or maybe you want, you know what I'm saying, new watch. I don't know, new watch, new car, right? Whatever. Maybe you want a new watch. Fucking, you want an RM, some diamonds, whatever. Who knows, man? You want to have selfish goals too. These goals are a result of accomplishing the main goals. Does that make sense? Where the support goals help you accomplish the main goal. This way, now your life is congruent. See, a lot of times people fuck up and they set goals that are not congruent with each other. Somebody say, oh man, I want to be a good husband, but I also want to be an international playboy and fuck 30 bitches. Those goals are incongruent with each other, right? So then now their life doesn't flow. But if you set it up like this, now your life will flow because everything will be about the main goal. Take some time to do this. Figure out what your main goal is. Come up with things that need to be accomplished to hit that goal. Things that you need to do to make sure nothing gets in your way of hitting that goal. Those are the defensive goals. And then think of the things you want that are a result of accomplishing the main goals. The altruistic goals, like, you know, you want to do some good in the world. The selfish goals, things you want to accomplish. Cool. Boom. Now that you got your one goal, step 2, we need to weaponize time. I've been a starch proponent of this, where I talk about planning every hour of every day in your calendar. Every hour of every day is accounted for. I'm not out here freestyling my days, you know what I'm saying? Doing this shit on the fly. Well, I know when I'm going to work out. I know when I'm going to eat. You know, I know when I'm going to be with my niece, nephews, sons, you know, when I'm kicking with my friends. Everything's accounted for. I'm not fucking around out here. You need to start living out of your calendar. What thing that's going to do is going to give you more time. Now you'll see how much time you're wasting when you start living out your calendar. You got to remember, there's 168 hours in each week. You sleep 8 hours a night. That's 56 hours a week, right? You're left with 112. Even if you worked 80 hours a week, boom, you're still left with 32 hours to do whatever you want, right? I'm not saying you even got to work 80 hours a week. I'm just saying, like, the time is available. You still got 30 hours a week to do whatever the fuck you want. If you slept 8 hours a night and worked 80 hours a week, it seems like you don't have enough time because you're not planning your time. You're not weaponizing it. You're just out here freestyling it every day, wondering why you don't have time. Here's what's important. For your one goal, you need to work on the one goal for 4 hours a day. This came from a book I read once called The One Thing, and it talks about, man, figure out the one thing you need to accomplish that will make everything in your life easier or unnecessary, and then spend 4 hours a day working on that one thing. The author of that book was worth $100 million when it was published over 10 years ago. I think he's close to a billionaire now. Don't believe me, man. It's 4 hours a day. You can do that if you plan your time. I don't care what you got going on. If you work 40 hours a week, it's okay, man. Work 40 hours a week. Sleep 8 hours a night. That's 56 hours. 96 subtracted from 168. You're left with 72 hours. Like, you got time, man. You're just not planning. That's why we got to live out a calendar. And in your calendar, you need to put in the 4 hours every day. And we're talking about even weekends that you're working on this goal. At least 4 hours. You can do this if you got a fucking job. No matter what if you in school, 4 hours a day working on this one goal. I have never seen anyone do this and fail. Most of y'all just don't do this shit. And I'm not even telling you to sacrifice sleep. I'm not telling you to sacrifice your family. I'm not telling you to sacrifice even recreation. Just plan the recreation in your calendar. One thing I would say about, like, you guys who say, man, but what about family? What about family? I get it if you have kids. Kids are a lot of work. Especially if you had like 30 kids. I'd have told you not to do that shit. I told you to use a condom, but you know, we are where we are. But some of you guys don't have kids and you like in your 20s and you'll be like, man, what about family? Like, motherfucker, what you talking about? Your mommy and daddy? You spent too much time with your mommy already, man. That's why you sound like a bitch. Your mommy wants you to get out there and be a man. You figure out the minimum effective dosage of mommy time. Put that shit in your calendar. I bet you still got 4 hours a day, right? Use Google Calendar. If you want to learn how to actually do that, I have another video about how to plan every hour of your day in your calendar. It is the cheat code to life. Is the cheat code to success. Everybody who does it, their whole life changes in less than 90 days. They accomplish more. They start running circles around the competition. It's the one fucking hack that I can say really works. Planning every hour, every day in your calendar. Go watch the video on how to do it right now.